والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. It's good to see you guys here today, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to address you guys and on this farewell Friday of the holy month of Sha'ban, as we all are eagerly awaiting the month of Ramadan, which will be upon us in a few days. We know that in the famous tradition from our holy prophet, that Sha'ban is a month that is filled with many blessings. The famous tradition that many of us have heard before, that the month of Rajab is the month of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the month of Sha'ban is my month, and the month of Ramadan is the month of the Ummah. And the Holy Prophet, this month of Sha'ban, which he sort of associated with himself, the Holy Prophet would spend a lot of time in this month, in istighfar, seeking forgiveness towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, observing mustahab fasts during this month, and using it as a time to, as a very special and holy time to prepare himself for the month of Ramadan. This time on the calendar, is our kind of like our spiritual season. We want this time of the year to feel differently for us, as Muslims. Just kind of, when within the U.S., when December rolls around and we start seeing lights and Christmas trees and stuff like that, we're like, okay, we're in the holiday or the Christmas season, here in the U.S. Likewise for us as Muslims, the holy month of Rajab, really Rajab, Sha'ban, and Ramadan really should kind of kickstart for us that spiritual season that's upon us. Right? We want to sort of, we want to remind ourselves that, hey, this is the time when the gates of heaven are open, and the opportunity to renew and reinvigorate our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is made easier during this time. So we don't want to treat it like any other months. We want to, as much as we can, start developing new habits during this month. So much of what we're able to do in life, whether it's so much of what we're able to do in life is predicated upon developing good habits, successful habits. And what's beautiful, there's a very wonderful book that actually I just finished reading a few weeks ago, called Atomic Habits. And the main thesis of the book, is to give people a framework for what they can do in their life to make good habits easier for them to do and prevent bad habits. And you can, when we think of habits, all of our, are just behaviors that we do over and over again for different things. And we all have habits, right? From the simplest ones of when we walk into a room, we look for a light switch, right? That's how we triggered that, okay, it's a dark room, we need to flip the switch and turn it on. Of course, to even, other more significant habits that we may have. And we know that our practice as Muslims, the Deen of Allah is filled with divine divine instruction from our Holy Prophet and the Immaculate Ahlul Bayt to help develop good habits with us as believers, right? And those habits not only involve doing acts of worship that get us closer towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but also doing things that help keep us away from sin and corruption. And this of course is so some of those habits I want to mention, and of course the Holy Prophet would do, of course is seeking istighfar and fasting. Definitely, we're, I think, starting today and definitely through the weekend, because most likely Ramadan will start on Tuesday. One of the traditions of the Holy Prophet was to connect the last 3 days of Sha'aban with Ramadan as far as fasting. So inshallah, if any of the brothers here have the opportunity to observe the fast following the Sunnah tradition of the Holy Prophet this coming weekend, and connect those last few days, 28th, 29th, 30th of Sha'aban, in fasting, as an act of obedience and worship towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then that will be a great opportunity for you to do. But going back a little bit to, as I was discussing habits, one of the of course habits that we develop during the holy month of Ramadan is not eating during the daytime. Right? This becomes natural for us during the course of the month. Right? And one of the things, of course, that we all, and along with that comes a lot of other good habits that we typically see, right? We notice, maybe moderation in our eating habits, even in the evening. Maybe we feel our energy level, shifting. We notice, a lot of times we'll notice different health benefits, spiritual benefits through this act of fasting. And so one of the tips from this book that I found very very beneficial is, of course, if you want to keep a good habit going, then you want to make it easy. You want to make it easy for yourself to do, and potentially you want to attach some type of reward to that, right? Just psychologically is how we work it, as humans. So if in thinking of course, during the holy month of Ramadan, we're observing the fast out of wajibat, out of obligation towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if you're now thinking ahead, we always say during the month of Ramadan, we should continue the practice of fasting, maybe Mondays and Thursdays or other days, after the month. We want to continue the practice of reading some Quran more regularly after the holy month of Ramadan is over, right? We don't want all the blessings and the special acts and deeds that we're doing just during Ramadan to then come to an end. One of the best ways to do that is to think to ourselves how we can possibly make it easy for us to do, and maybe attach a reward to it after the fact. So, for example, a very simple example, if after, during the month of Ramadan, when we're fasting, a lot of times we look forward to having iftar with other believers. We're breaking our fast with other believers. We're enjoying that, that social bonding, that connection, and discussing, with the brothers or sisters, right? This is one of the special things that we look forward to during the holy month of Ramadan. Outside of Ramadan, if we, to make that habit, if let's say we say to ourselves, I would like to be able to fast 2 nights during the month, or 1 night a month, or 2 days a week, whatever that is. If it's something that you look forward to having iftar with other people and having a beautiful meal with other people, then try to plan that and schedule it out. It's like, hey, I'm gonna get up with the brothers on that Thursday night or that Saturday night, and I'm gonna fast that day. And in some sense, of course we know we're going to get the reward with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but we're also going to be rewarding ourselves that evening with the social enjoyment of breaking fast and having a nice dinner with other believers. Right? Very, very kind of simple idea, but what was I going to say? Making good habits easier and rewarding yourself for them is a very simple activity that we can all do to continue and make these things habit forming even after the month of Ramadan, when these beautiful acts are not wajib upon us, right? But Allah makes them wajib upon us during the holy month, so that we can, Allah says, right? So that you can develop taqwa, so that you can develop piety, and you can learn how to abstain from sins. Likewise, when it comes to staying away and avoiding, bad deeds, and sins and acts, with this book, talked about, which I thought was very interesting, as we find more life, is that you want to make bad habits difficult, right? You want to make them difficult, and if those bad habits are even sinful, you want to make them really difficult for yourself, so you don't even have the opportunity, right? So if a bad habit you have is maybe if you're eating dinner with your family or with your spouse, and you guys may instead of speaking and talking with each other, you're constantly getting distracted by your phone, or maybe you're on your phone at dinner and stuff like that. So the easiest way to avoid that bad habit is just to leave the phone in the bedroom. So it's not even an option. You can't even pull it out of your pocket, right, and do it. You want to make the bad habit better. If you have a sweet tooth like myself, and you really shouldn't, be partaking too much in whatever, donuts or something like that. Don't bring the box of donuts in the house, right? Make it hard for yourself. Don't make it easy and having it sitting right there on the counter, where as soon as you walk into the kitchen, it's like, oh, boom, donut right there. No, put some fruit there, right? I'm giving these kind of, silly examples, not silly, but, for inshallah, for us as believers, if we, in order for us to develop a lot of the habits that Islam wants us to have and develop as a believer, that we should, we want to do things to make it easy to do the good ones and hard to do things that are not good for us. Okay? So Inshallah, I will give another couple examples about that in the second Khutbah, and then talk a little bit about one of the very special du'as that's recommended to recite during this holy month. Thank you guys for your patience. I'm a little bit unprepared, but sort of ended up speaking, had the opportunity to speak here at the last minute, but I'll try to offer a few more thoughts or advice, to help us prepare for this holy month of Ramadan. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala Ebraheem. Good habits that we, inshallah, we develop a lot of these during the holy month of Ramadan, doing extra prayer, hopefully reconnecting with the Holy Quran, and fasting, in particular these three acts. Inshallah, outside of the month of Ramadan, ways that you can make these, and even during the month of Ramadan, ways that you can make these easier for you, sometimes can be very simple acts. Very simple acts. For example, if you want to develop the habit of reading a little bit of Quran every day, then one strategy you could think of, one strategy that's sort of worked for me in the past, is to put a Quran on your pillow. Leave a Quran on your pillow. Now, for me, this forces me every time before I'm about to go to bed, is I have to consciously say, oh, I haven't read Quran today, I'm ready to go to bed. But it's right here. Okay. Right? It's easy. It makes it easy, right? And specifically the book, right? Because it's easy, a lot of times we have Quran on our phone now, right? So see, you cannot open the Quran app on your phone, so it doesn't work with the phone, right? The phone is multi-use. There's only one thing you can do with this, right? Is pick it up and open it and reflect on it and read it. So likewise, if and small, one of the most important things is that small acts like reading a little bit of Quran every day, maybe making some of these other things that are mustahab from the Holy Prophet, from the Holy Prophet's tradition, like making wudu before we go to bed, even observing like good dental hygiene, right, is part of the Prophet's sunnah, right? All of these good things, brushing and flossing. And I'll tell you guys, for me, nothing has worked, in my own personal, nothing, has really worked or helped more than sort of the place where I sleep, sort of having certain reminders there that I can't go to sleep until I do until I do the thing that I'm trying to develop the habit of doing. Because sometimes when you're just having the Quran there on your book, it also triggers, it's a trigger to you that, having the Quran in your pillow, it's a trigger to remind you that, oh, well, actually it's better if I make wudu before I open the Quran. So then it naturally tells you, oh, okay, I need wudu, so you're gonna make wudu. And now you're stacking these good habits on top of each other by strategically structuring your environment to help you do good habits and avoid bad habits. And I think that's one of the most important things that we should think about, as humans, that we don't, especially as men, and especially as men, not only that if you're being responsible for yourself, develop your own spirituality and connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but as the head of your household, you also need to think very strategically and make sure that you're taking some level of control or influence over the environment that your house household and loved ones are in, because we want to manipulate our environment as much as possible to once again make it easy to do good habits and make it difficult to do bad ones. Right? That's, we could brainstorm here for like come up with lots of different examples. But I just want to give you guys just like some simple, simple things that really this applies to anything that you're trying to do in your life, any habit you're trying to develop, whether it's related to fitness, finance, or improving your religious practice and your connection with God. It's all based on habits. It's all based on trying to structure our environment and structure our lives in a way to make it easy, for us. We don't want to make it hard. If it can even mean, a simple example, right, many people have is, if you're in a lot of different places where you may end up praying, then have prayer stuff in different areas. A lot of us, we usually keep our prayer rug in our car in case we have to pray while we're out and about. Even in different places in your house, if you're not always able to pray in the same place, which is good, just making it very easy. Before I finish up here, I just wanted to, this dua, one of the duas that we read, is recommended to read every day during the after required prayers during the holy month of Ramadan. It's one of my favorite prayers. It's so beautiful and encompassing of one of the philosophies behind Ramadan, of course, is to help us think of others that are less fortunate, think of others that are in a more difficult situation. As bad as, or as many difficulties and hardships that you may be going through in your life, this dua, many other duas, is one of the ones that reminds us that, but there are others who are dealing with more, right? Sort of allows you to sort of get out of your own mind and all the hardships and your own issue that you're dealing with, and make sure that you're thinking of empathy towards others. So to finish, I was just going to read this really quick and read the English to remind us, and hopefully during the month of Ramadan, especially having access to these du'as and prayer times, these phones are a blessing for that, right? As easy as you can set up to get your notifications from, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, whatever notification you want, you can get all kinds of notifications to remind you to, read Quran, pray on time, and read these du'as. So this beautiful dua reads, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma adkhil ala al-ahli al-qubur al-surur. Allahumma agni kulla fakir. Allahumma ashfi kulla ja'i'. Allahumma aksu kulla uryan. Allahumma dayna kulli madin. Allahumma faraj an kulli maghrub. Allahumma rudda kulla gharib. Allahumma fukka kulla asir. Allahumma aslim kulla fasidin min umur al-muslimin. Allahumma ashfi kulla marid. Allahumma sudda qabrana bi-bina. Allahumma غير سوء حالنا بحسن حالك. اللهم اغفر لنا الدين واجرنا من الفقر انك كل شيء قدير. And And the meaning, as you notice, the dua is filled with, Allahumma, Allahumma. And each one of those phrases that you're reciting, you're asking Allah to give His support to a different group of people who is who is facing difficulty or hardship. And when you read these, you may identify yourself in one of these groups. But typically, but often you're gonna think when you say it, you're gonna think, oh wow, yes, I may be amongst that person in that difficult group, but there's also many others. I'm not the only one. There's other people that are facing these hardships. In the name of Allah, the source of mercy to all of creation, the source of mercy to the believing congregation. O Allah, please send peace and tranquility upon the people in their graves. O Allah, please enrich every poor person. O Allah, please satisfy every hungry person. Allahumma, O Allah, please clothe every unclothed person. O Allah, please help every debtor to pay back his debts. O Allah, please relieve every distressed person. O Allah, please return every traveler safe to his home. O Allah, please release every wrongly imprisoned prisoner. O Allah, please correct every wrong in the affairs of the Muslims. O Allah, please cure every sick one. O Allah, please ease our poverty with your wealth. O Allah, please change our evil state to a good state through your most excellent state. And O Allah, please relieve us of our debts and help us against poverty. Surely you are able. Surely you have power over all things.